this phase of food neophobia, or being a fussy eater, might actually be nature's way of reducing the amount of accidental poisoning among toddlers. If you think about it, it's handy, from a developmental perspective, that your child all of a sudden doesn't like strange tastes, or tastes that they've not had before, or things that might be a bit bitter or a bit strong. It could be quite helpful if they're out in the garden and they're not shoveling everything they find into their mouths. So, it has its upside as well, but obviously we're not trying to poison our children. We're not feeding them things that are poisonous. We're feeding them things that are nutritious and delicious, so we want them to be able to experiment. For the parents that I see with eating issues, that would be the number one. My child will not eat what I want them to eat. And, it actually has a name. It's called food neophobia. And it peaks around about age 2 or 3 years. It's a really common developmental stage. They may have previously eaten absolutely everything you put in front of them. If you could whiz it up with a whizzer stick and shovel it in their mouths, they'd eat it. Didn't matter. But when they're about 2 or 3, they're starting to get a little bit more control, they're starting to become a little bit more independent, and they get very fussy all of a sudden. Very, very common. Hopefully, that will start to decline by the time they're about age 5. You should be seeing less of that. Not always.
That's a long time though, isn't it?
It is a long time, and it's up to 3 years of challenging meal times. So to have some ideas as to how to deal with that is a good thing, because it could be a while. As with all parenting, the most important thing that you can do is model. But it's really, really important to model to kids what adventurous eating looks like. And be obvious, be overt about it. Say, I've never had some of that, but I think I'll try it. Or if you're out at a restaurant, trying food from each other's plates, that looks interesting. Can I have a little bit? Just modelling that adventurousness and that willing to take a chance. Also that you're persistent. Again, one of the key things in parenting, if you're not going to be persistent, you're not going to get results a lot of the time. Around about 10 is what you'll read in a lot of the literature. You need to present a new food at least 10 times before a child is going to start to feel comfortable with it and feel bold enough to reach out and touch it, pick it up, see what it feels like, see how well it flies as they throw it across the table. They've got to have those experiences and they've got to have a bit of a go with it. So don't worry if it's the 5th night in a row that you've tried broccoli and they still won't go near it. Just keep putting it on the plate, because that's what you've got to do. It's the right thing to do. Keep presenting it, provide the healthy food, put it out there. What they do with it is up to them, but if you decide, look, she just doesn't like broccoli, there's no point, then it's quite likely that you'll be supporting that broccoli phobia in all its forms, and there'll be that adult who is needing to take vitamin supplements because they still can't face anything that's green, and there are lots of them out there.